Well, howdy, y'all. Oh, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. The Sserafim at Coachella. Okay, couple of things. Number one, if I was you, I'd send the kids out of the room. This one ain't going to be nice. Some parts of it. Some are. Number two, I don't know what anybody was thinking. But we're going to break this down in a couple of parts. I did something I don't do, right? Y'all know I don't usually do research, right? I did over a week's worth of research on this after I first heard about it. Thank you to Jeff and Drew and everybody else that told me. I did over a week's worth of research on this. I did a lot of research on it to make sure I was right on everything. So, let's break it down. The Sserafim played Coachella last weekend. And this weekend, as a matter of fact. For the first time. Now, when they found out about it, when it was confirmed that they were playing, they went to work. So, let's get this straight first, right? Before we get into everything. They went to work. And when I say went to work, I mean they went to work. Because they talked about it. They started practicing. Setting up the playlist, or setting up the set list. Setting up what songs they were going to do, how they were going to do them. Everything, down to the finest details. They set up everything they could possibly put their hands on. And they worked long hours at it. A lot of time at it. A lot of vocal work, a lot of dance work, a lot of work with the band, a lot of work with the dancers, all of it. They worked hard at it. And then they left for Coachella. On the plane ride over, there was some tears, even, because they were nervous. They were scared. Now, mind you, the Sserafim is a newer group, even though they have a seasoned veteran in the band, right? Sakura. They're a newer group. They've never played in front of a crowd like Coachella, and they had no idea how many people were going to be there. All right? They played some of the music shows, couple hundred people, this, that, and the other. But they've never played in front of a big crowd. So they were nervous. They were scared. And rightfully so. Right? Then they get to Coachella. They get to LA, they get settled in, they get to Coachella, and they touch the stage. And the first couple songs, admittedly, were a little rough. To be expected. Absolutely to be expected. Right? But the crowd was with them. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. The crowd was with them. And the crowd stayed with them. And even got more with them as they went through their set. And the nerves fell away. The worry fell away. And the set got better and better and better and better and better. But that's not what some people said. Let's get into it. By the end of it, by the way, they had the crowd. As a matter of fact, they had some that were not fans, were not even K-pop fans, that are now. And their album sales and streaming has gone way up since the first weekend. Now, let's get into what was said. First of all, the crowd that was there. I want to congratulate that crowd that was there. Now, I never thought I'd say that about Coachella, because it's not one of my favorite festivals. Because it's mainly a pop festival, right? And before the K-pop bands started playing there, K-pop groups started playing there, artists, it was mainly just crap pop, is what I like to call it. Because there was a lot of stuff there that I would have never even thought about seeing or looking at. So, I want to congratulate that crowd. And there was even a fella in the crowd that I saw his post that said, listen, I didn't know anything about K-pop. I was there. I was in the crowd because there was a show going on. I was having a good time. But I have to tell you, by the end of their set, I was looking for Sserafim's music on, the streaming platforms. Because I was a fan. They put on a great show. So I want to congratulate the crowd that was there. About 96% of them. We'll talk about the other 4% here in a minute. Now, some of you online, some fellow reactors, have come back and defended the group. I appreciate that as well. Look, when you first get on a stage, I don't care who it is, right? You first get on a stage that size, if you think, I don't know, let's take, for instance, Taylor Swift, right? She just finished the Eras Tour. Matter of fact, we just did the Eras Tour over on the Patreon not too long ago. She just finished the Eras Tour, right? If you think that when Taylor Swift first stepped on the stage when she was 15 years old, it was instantly the Eras Tour, pow, boy, do I got news for you. It wasn't. That takes years of hard work to get to that point. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen. Things go wrong. The voice gets cracky. Things like that happen when you're first stepping on a stage in front of a crowd like you got at Coachella. A lot of people. So I want to say thank you to the channels, the fellow reactors out there that defended the group as well. Because, we need to. There was no reason for what we're about to talk about to happen. No reason whatsoever. And I appreciate that. I really do. Now, for the other 4% of that audience that was there. Yeah, I know who you are. Because I saw it. I went through your post. I went through your channels. Fuck you. Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Calling yourselves true K-pop stans or fans or onces or, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. One of you calling yourself a true once that could no longer, fuck you then. Fuck you. How could you have the gall to call yourself a K-pop fan and spread that kind of hate? Who do you think you are? If I was you, I'd shut down my channel. I'd shut down everything that I have on social media and go hide my head in the sand. That was sick. Sick what y'all put on there. And I'm not just talking about the one that said he was a true once. I'm talking about all of y'all that went just so you could spread hate. You ought to be sick with yourself. I don't know who you think you are, but you've never been on that stage. I know that. Like I said, I went through your channels too. And I went through your post. I went through your Reddit. I went through your X, your Facebook. I saw it. I know what you said. You ought to be sick to your stomach. You ought not be able to look in the mirror sleep Don't you ever have the gall to call yourself a fan of anybody spreading that kind of shit. The hell is wrong with you? Huh? I tell you what, I'll do you one better. I'll give you a challenge. Just so you can get a taste of what those girls do every day. What these ladies do every day. And gentlemen in the K-pop industry. Just so you can get a taste, I'll give you a challenge. Get your fat ass up from behind your keyboard. Go to your local construction company. Tell them you want 12-hour shifts for a year. Oh, you'll get them. You'll get them. Because they need hands. I guarantee you they need hands. You won't make it. But I guarantee you they need the hands. You do that for a year and then you get back on and you come tell me how you feel. That's a challenge. Instead of sitting behind there being a keyboard cowboy thinking you know what they went through. Fuck off. That's what I think. I have no use for that shit. None whatsoever. That kind of hate has no place anywhere on this platform or any other one. And I mean, some of the stuff I saw was sick, y'all. Sick. Don't you ever have the gall to call yourself a fan of any of these groups. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if the group saw that, they'd say, I don't know whose fan you are, but you ain't ours. Sick. Now, as for the ones that have channels just to spread rumors and this, that, and the other, you ought to hide your head too. Because you have no idea what happened. You just went off of what somebody said. You didn't do any research. You didn't do anything else. And I'll admit, I've done that. I've said something on here that somebody had said, and somebody's come back and said, no, that's not right, Pops. Well, okay, please correct me. See, but you won't take the correction. You just go off of it and say, this is what is true. You got what I like to call the supermarket rag on YouTube. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, too. No reason for that. No reason for it. Except clickbait. I have no use for that either. Now, folks, I mean, I don't know what else to say, except that I will support the Sserafim. We will support them here on this channel. And on the other channel, by the way. There is some Sserafim over there now. Please feel free to go over there and check it out. Come over there and join us, and we will get more up. Happily. And we'll support the other K-pop artists too. And many other artists. We're going to continue to do that. We have no time for the hate here. I've said that from the very beginning of this channel. I will not tolerate it here. Now, I may play an artist that has a hateful song or whatever and says some hateful lyrics or whatever because I don't know what I'm going to play. Right? Y'all send it, I play it. That's the way it works. Okay? And if I do, and somebody says, ooh, that might not be good for the channel, Pops, well, that's fine. That's okay. But we're not going to come at Pops or anybody else on this channel and say, God almighty, why did you send that? That was the sickest thing I've ever, We're not going to do that. And we're not going to down the artist either. If you don't think, if I play something and you don't think I should play it, and nobody watches or whatever, we won't play it again. That's just the way it is, and that's not a problem. That's not a huge thing to me. Because we play blind here. Right? I don't research, I told you. But that's all I got for today, folks. And I do apologize for taking so long on this, but yeah, that needed to be addressed. There was no reason for all the hate against these ladies. They put in a lot of hard work for that first performance. I'm sure this second one was even better than the first, and it'll get even better from there, and I cannot wait to see them on a world tour. And by the way, just in case, I know they probably never will, and that's okay. That's okay, but I'm going to say it anyway. To the ladies of the Sserafim, I'm sorry for everything that was said. All that hate, what have you, that was spread about y'all, I am truly sorry to hear that. That was sickening. It made me sick to my stomach looking at some of it. No reason for it. And we will support you. As a matter of fact, when you announce your world tour, I hope you come close to us and we will be there. Without a doubt. And we'll continue to support you, ladies. Much love. My friends, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day and a fantastic week. I will see you later. We got a big block this afternoon. Gonna have some fun. Okay? This old Pops. We are out.